What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at MyCowboysFamily, and hop in the Discord. The link for that's in the description box down below.
Hell yeah, guys. It's on like Donkey Kong. Day one of training camp, and it's here. It's gone. And there's some great things, there's some bad things, and there's some, injury things. We got to discuss it all here, all things here on My Cowboys Family, another Cowboys chat. And I hope everyone's been keeping up. Some of the videos we posted earlier throughout the day, the grand finale video, a little update on Donovan Wilson. We'll talk about it here.
And if you haven't, make sure to check it out once we're done with the stream here.
A lot of obviously always going to be a lot of news from here on out to the Super Bowl, right? So for us, for our Cowboys, we're hoping. So keep it tuned in here, guys. Appreciate everybody hitting that like, subbing it up, and getting on this roller coaster ride with the family here in MCF. So before we can go any farther and get into the news, info, and updates, we got to talk about those that rep it here and let us do what we do here on the Nightly. It's the sponsor of the week, and it's the Man Staying Skeptical.
Skeptical fan.
Back to back, like our 90s Cowboys.
Shout out to you, Skeptical. And of course, not the only one. Representing Marco Sepien has 26 points on that stream, boss.
Yeah, again, that's a... Good. Again, much love to the man, Marco Sepien. It was in our live stream earlier at night that we had on the premiere video. But on the overall board, Mark's, I think, in second place because Skeptical Fan is in first place. He's trying to go for what we call a three-peat here.
That's right.
And he's also going for a three-peat on the monthly gifting membership board. He is currently got 45 gifted memberships. So a lot of people in the chat need to thank Skeptical Fan for their free membership for the month. And then, those that want to continue to upgrade it or whatever, you can do that too if you'd like and stay on. But either way, much love to Skeptical Fan. I think Jason Renfro is also gifted for on his own. If you're in the membership, you can now, that's the only way you can gift memberships to other people is if you're in the membership yourself. And that means if you're in the Navy Blue and you got gifted one, you can do that as well. So appreciate Mr. Skeptical Fan on all fronts. He's in first place on the overall board as well, coming for that three-peat, coming for that monthly membership three-peat as well, gifting membership. And we got Justin Quarles. You see him here the whole time. You see us talking. Man. You're seeing his name. Yes, Justin Quarles, the Q man. He is their Cash App King, repping it here right now. So appreciate him. He won a tiebreaker with the great Snug X. But there's a guy coming for the crown, and he's always coming for that crown. It's Jason Renfro. He's got the lead. Last night, he dropped a $1 holler, by the way, after the stream. And a Go Cowboys from Jason Renfro. Much love to him. He's in first place on the Cash App. We also had a $2 thanks on our Deuce. I think it was our Deuce video, the first look at Deuce Vaughn with the Cowboys. So, yeah, much love to Mr. Deuce Vaughn, him too, but much love to Mr. Dwayne Broussard, the top dog. with his thanks drop $2 holler there. By the way, we also had this. Well, I'll discuss it a little later. The voting, kind of the poll we had last night. We never really get to hit on it, but we got to hit on it, but we didn't get to hit the finale of it. We'll talk about that, guys. Thank you for dropping. When you drop super chat, it helps the channel. Let's just do this on the nightly. When you go through membership and you join up with the membership, there's a lot of perks through there. One of them you can say is the
star members. Thank you very much to Skeptical Fan, Dwayne Broussard, the top dog, LC,
Lincoln
all the
Kane.
way from Australia.
Yes.
We have Mary Alvarez, much love. And
Jason Renfro.
There we go, Jason Renfro.
Yes,
I know
the
there's
leader
one more.
on that Cash App. Much love to all 5 of you guys and that star level membership. And then, again, I was talking about different ways of love, whether it's the membership, whether it's gifting membership, super chat, the thanks button. There's also 4 other ways. This falls into the Cash App King kind of competition. So there's other ways, baby. Real quick.
The Cash App, money sign, My Cowboys Family. The Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family. The regular PayPal link. And last but not least, the Streamlabs lets your comment show up on screen just like a super chat.
So, guys, thank you for the love, the support throughout the 6 years we've been on here and beyond. And, we will be doing another training camp season into a regular season, into the playoffs, into, that goal of the Super Bowl and that 6 and beyond. So hopefully we'll get there this year. Now, baby, it's time for the shout-outs since we have our caricatures per Skeptical Fan, by the way.
Yes, an extra skeptical stream.
Very skeptical stream tonight.
Let me do the shout-outs here.
Yes.
Thank you to Skeptical Fan.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for being here, Skeptical Fan, the sponsor of the weeks.
Back to back.
Back to back. Rolando Rodriguez from South Texas. Tim Pinnell, hello. Eric Wallace, what's up? C. Bass, much love. And yes, Wilson got a little banged up. Thankfully, not anything long-term or too serious.
Well, we'll talk
but
about it.
we have the details there. We should see him back, for the beginning of the season. Yeah. So we have Scorpio representing much love. Wild Emu, who said Cowboys record guess 15-2. I would love that. Love that.
That'd be great. I'd rather just see it. I don't care if we're 12-5, as long as we got a Super Bowl at the end. That's the other thing.
So Raul in the house, Cactus G in the place to be, Killer Pacheco, and yeah, honestly, a few rough moments, of course, like any beginning training camp situation, but definitely like some of the looks that we're getting from our offense already. Don't even get me started on the defense. Thomas Garrett, the superior Garrett. Dwayne Broussard, the top dog himself. Who else is here? Raymond Solis, what's up?
Much love the DB.
Landlord from Wakanda. Jason Renfro, much love to you.
Yeah.
Freedom First, not first today. Leaside Herald. We got Dan the Man in the house. Let me come back down.
Eastside just loves our Cowboys.
Double R representing much love. So, and again, thank you to everybody here chilling, hanging with us. And baby, I won't make the people wait too long. Let's go ahead and touch on, of course, some of the things we have to touch on and a bit of a rewind, right? Because I think you mentioned it. We forgot to close out the poll officially yesterday.
Yeah, I'm actually going to push that more, actually in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
I ordered my information wrong today. But we will touch on that and Trayvon Diggs in a minute. Let's start with just straight up NFL news. Kicking it off. Damar Hamlin, their head coach, McDermott, he talked about Damar Hamlin and said he will be a full go at training camp. And that they're behind him 100%. They said they're going to basically go at his cadence. So, Damar Hamlin, guys, full go. Amazing, right? January, he was dead on the field. Now he's full go in football, and he's back at it again. So, great for him to see that. Hopefully, nothing ever goes happens like this to him or anybody in the NFL anywhere, honestly. We don't see this again. So, good that he is good to go for this 2023 season with the Bills. Now, other quick news in the NFL. The Jets, they signed 4-time NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers. Of course, we knew this, but they signed him today to a new 2-year, $75 million guaranteed contract through the 2024 season. Now, he nearly had $110 million guaranteed remaining on his old deal. He's taking a big chunk less to maybe try to win a ring in New York with the Jets. So think about that, guys. He went from $110 million guaranteed to $75 million guaranteed. Restructure that. So, got to give it up to Aaron Rodgers. Like he's given up. Like he's got made enough, more than enough money hand over fist to now give back to the team in a way and say, I want to win it here. I think it might have been the jewelry they gave him, the gifts they gave him, the way they love him in New York, the Jets. And Aaron Rodgers, he's like the king of the castle. So
remember now, like you said, it's less about I'm going to go to the team that's going to pay me the most, and more, I'm going to go to the team that I want to go to the most.
And want to win the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Exactly. So, makes more sense, right?
Yeah. So, as we continue NFL-wise, there was an NFC East foe here that signed another player. Yes, the New York Giants. They had yesterday Saquon Barkley. Daniel Jones, they signed him 4 years, $160 million. Saquon is 1 year, $11 million. But Dexter Lawrence, 4 years, $90 million. Another guy they signed this offseason. And now Andrew Thomas. Very good offensive lineman, although I will say Micah Parsons had his way with him. Andrew Thomas got a 5-year deal, $117.5 million. So the Giants are spending a lot of money right now, guys. The third big, I wouldn't say Saquon is a big contract extension. It's a 1-year deal. But the other 3 guys I just mentioned, there's 3 big contract extensions the Giants have awarded this offseason to their own players. So again, they're pouring money into their draft picks and going with that. Another offensive lineman, a tackle, big money tackle, from where's East Side? Houston Texans. Former first-round pick for the Houston Texans, Titus Howard, reached an agreement today on a 3-year, $56 million extension, which includes $36.5 million guaranteed. So congrats to him, although he's going to have a pretty crappy career there in Houston. He's only there for a couple of years, I guess. One last kind of team, I guess you could say.
It's like a retirement home.
It is. I guess there's a couple more things here, but we have the Bears tight end Cole Kmet. All right, he's, you didn't think he's going to be a big player in the NFL. Maybe a tight end drafted a little. I don't think he was in the first round. He was second round. They reached an agreement now on a 4-year, off his rookie contract, a 4-year, $50 million extension, including $32.8 million guaranteed, $20 million in new first-year cash. So he's getting a lot of money. That's crazy thing about this. I mean, he's good, but Dalton Schultz is better. I said it. Hey, Houston, I gave you 2 compliments there, East Side. Titus Howard, a great, very good offensive lineman, and then, Cole Kmet is not as good as Dalton Schultz, in my humble opinion.
If I'm Schultz, I would be looking at my management team.
Yeah.
And I don't know, give him a bit of a side eye, just because he definitely should have been able to maximize his pretty solid performance to get a little bit more. If guys like Kmet are getting $50 million extensions,
that's $12.5 million. That's a year. So Dalton Schultz fighting for like 9 or 10 over there, right? So yeah, I mean, I would, you gotta understand. Schultz probably better. They overpaid.
The money goes up every year.
Yeah,
So
not tight ends though. The tight end kind of flatlined a little bit because it was at 14. So with the Browns tight end there. So anyways, last kind of, I guess, new NFL news. Purdue wide receiver Milton Wright. Remember him? He was one of the supplemental draft guys. One of the 2 guys. He had a really shitty kind of pro day, I guess you can say, combine day.
Yeah, isn't he the guy who everybody said don't even bother?
Yeah, because he did so badly, and he was and basically he became a free agent.
Yeah,
because him and the other player that were on the list, there was only 2 guys. They both went through, and nobody picked up anyone. So today, though, the Los Angeles Chargers and Kellen Moore, they said let's pick him up. Of course, Milton right now is with the Chargers.
Man's trash is another man's treasure.
Teaming up with Milton Wright, trying to, obviously he's an outside chance to win, to get a spot there with the Chargers. But let's talk about Justin Herbert for a quick other second. It's funny how what's being said now is literally what I kind of said about Trayvon Diggs' deal, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But Justin Herbert's contract got washed away under all the news about Trayvon Diggs. But it really is that, and we I think we did a great job yesterday, addressing the kind of connection it's going to have with Dak Prescott's contract. But the latest in a series of very positive developments at the quarterback position in the market is happening for the Cowboys. It could help the Cowboys pay less for Dak Prescott. The true numbers from Justin Herbert's deal, it's really a 7-year, $42.3 million per year deal. Why do I say that? You got to look at the guarantees, guys. Again, he signed a 7-year deal, $262.5 million added to what he was going to make over the next 2 years. I'm sorry, it's $42 million. Only $2.3 million is per year for him. So he had, again, this year Herbert only had $4.2 million against the cap, and then $29.5 million next year against the cap. So that's $33.7 million in old money. You add the $262.5 million in new money, and then you put together all these numbers. You got a 7-year, $296.234 million contract. So what does that average to? Now, when you put all the money together and the years together, Justin Herbert's only getting $42.3 million. not 52 point whatever it was million. You know what I mean? So Herbert, I don't mind them saying it so that the quarterbacks feel good about getting 52 million. Say that about Dak, but he'll really be getting like 42, 43 million. Dak Prescott. That's what I need to see in a deal. I
have to stop everyone for one quick second. No, guys, our dog is not snoring. She is being super annoying and whining for our attention here. But she has been...
taken whisked away.
She's been whisked away now by...
And she's getting
a very
jealous.
Hopeful child. But
she's getting jealous of our MCF
really jealous
streams.
of the MCF streams. If you notice that a few times in the background, that's just her crying.
Yeah, just trying to...
for attention.
Yeah, just...
She hears the MCF music and she literally...
Yeah, she wakes up and starts asking for attention.
So, anyway, back to you, baby. That's all. Sorry.
Just finishing up this Justin Herbert thing is that, again, 42 million, 42.3 million is definitely a lot of money. I'm not saying it's not, but that's more of an average number now for a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, definitely a little bit different than what we initially thought when we heard some of the money.
52.5 was the first numbers, right? And it's really not that. It's new money-wise, yes, but you got to, don't forget the old money, put 33 million in with the other 200 and whatever million, and you got yourself, instead of 52 million a year, 42 million a year over the course of the 7-year contract. Of course, the guaranteed money is very important. He can guarantee, I think, 218 million of that. So, look, however it goes. But every year you have to wait to see if that next year's guarantee kind of pushes it forward and gets Herbert locked in with the team longer. There's always options after a couple of years. So, again, 7-year deal, 42.3 million is what it averaged out to. When you compare it to someone like Lamar Jackson, he got a straight-up 5-year, $260 million deal. He's truly the highest paid quarterback. In the 5 years, he's getting $260, which is average of $52 million per year. Herbert's getting, he's getting 52.5 when you do it over 5 years. When you do it over 7 or when you do it over 5 years. When you do it over the full 7 years left and add the old money, he's getting $10 million less than was originally thought per year, which is always funny to me that people kind of hook, line, and sinker that, which takes me to Trayvon Diggs. And the fact that Trayvon Diggs got signed yesterday. We talked about this last night and had a he got an extension, not signed, but he signed the extension. We talked about your guys' thoughts about how you feel about Trayvon Diggs' 5-year, $97 million extension with the Cowboys. And 84% of you guys, we had almost 100 people vote. 84% said love it. It's a great deal for Dallas. 13%, it's okay. 13% said it's okay, not sure. 3%, and it must have been the Eastside Heralds out there, said hate it. Diggs is overpaid. Well, one last, before we leave this and get into today's training camp stuff, guys. When you today, the breakdown of Trayvon Diggs' deal came out. When you look at it, the whole deal, it's 6 years, $104.3 million max. Again, you got to add this year in there as well. So when you add this year, you add how much money he got hit. How much everything is added. Again, you got to do the same thing as you did with Justin Herbert's deal.
Yep.
6 years, $104.3 million is the maximum. That's with all the incentives. That's if he hits the whole thing. Now, he gets a $21.25 million bonus included in there. And here's the money that's going to be extra or added. This year, he's only adding $1.054 million on the cap. That's it. That's all he's hitting us extra this year. Another $1 million, which we have still $20 million or $19 million open on the salary cap. Next year, he's $11 million on the cap. 9 million in 2025, $14.5 million in 2026, $19.5 in 2027, and 2028, $20 million. The active roster bonuses total $1 million from 2024 through 2028, and he can make an additional $600,000 per year through these escalators and incentives. So the guarantee is the other big part for him, right? You got to look at the guarantees. $42.3 million is his guaranteed per year. He has $9 million base salary in 2025. Becomes a fully guaranteed deal on the 5th day of the league year. That's why you got to wait. Some of these guarantees, you got to wait to see if they hit it, right? The escalators every year, here's the incentives. If he gets 5 interceptions or 6, I guess you'd say, 5 or 6, and we make the playoffs. I'm sorry, if he gets 5 interceptions or more and he make the playoffs, he gets $300,000 that year. If he gets 7 interceptions or more and we make the playoffs, he gets $600,000 per year. He can get 20 interceptions. If we don't make the playoffs, he don't get any of that. You got to make the playoffs. I love that the Cowboys do tie that into the contract. So this move basically costs an extra $1 million against this season's cap, which was going to count $4.8 million. Now it's $5.8 million this year is his total hit on the cap for Trayvon Diggs. And his 42.3 $3 million fully guaranteed portion of the money that portion, guys, does not even come up in the top 3 cornerbacks in the NFL. At least there's 3 or 4 other cornerbacks that are getting guaranteed more money than Trayvon Diggs. So this is really, truly, if you break it down, it's a 3-year deal for Trayvon Diggs for that $42.3 million. It's a steal for the Cowboys. I love it. I don't know, even if you don't like Trayvon Diggs that much, it is still a great freaking deal. And if you think he's top 20, it's still it seems to me that most people are not going to put Trayvon Diggs in the top 20. He's a top 10 guy, top 15, I guess at worst. But we know he's closer to like a top. I've been saying he's a top 5 type guy. We'll see this year when he's got, Stephon Gilmore on the other side. It's going to be domination, I think. So, I think this is. I don't know how you can hate this deal. Now, look, obviously there's still a couple of, more details of the breakdown we're going to have to see, I'm sure. But basically his cap hits would be around $5 million, $15 million, and $13 million over the next 3 years when you add in the bonus money and all that stuff together. $5 million this year, $15 next year, and $13 million the following year.
And
that's not that much.
That doesn't account for any kind of restructuring or anything.
Right.
That's just
That's right.
If we don't touch it at all, that's how it stays.
Right. That's the hits right now without any kind of you can, of course, we can drop that 15 to a lot less, push that money forward, but that guarantees him now a 4th year. So you understand, guys? That's how it works. So again, after that happens, at these 3 years, the Cowboys can have the option to take still be a sizable dead money hit, and then move on if needed. Depends where that extra money was pushed to. But it might be a sizable hit overall. Yeah, it might be $20 million, but you divide it into 4 years. You don't even see it on the cap really that much. So again, these values, of course, could be a little off. We'll see. I'm sure we'll get more information in the future, whatever it may be. But the point is, the Cowboys have committed to their top cornerback for at least an additional 2 years, a total of 3 more years no matter what. That's a total of 6 years, I guess, in the NFL for Trayvon Diggs if he gets through that, if we get to that point, which the Cowboys have, chosen to keep his cap hits well below the new deal's average per year for the next 3 years. So, interesting move. The Cowboys seem to like doing that stuff that way. But I just wanted to break down the Trayvon Diggs kind of deal for a quick second. I'm going to take a quick break, baby. I'm kind of...
No, go ahead. Go ahead and take a little water break. I mean, like I said, when you actually see the breakdown of the Diggs deal, it's even better than we thought just upon first glance. So, honestly, front office, 10 out of 10. Just saying. This is just saying. Right? It's fair to Diggs. I think it's respectful to what he's earned already. I think it's fair to the Cowboys, more than fair to us. I think the way that the numbers break down as well is just very convenient for us to be able to kind of massage things around a bit if we so choose. So, and yeah, Diggs is obviously a top-tier talent. Glad he did not move on. Also, the Herbert stuff was interesting just because of the breakdown and what it obviously possibly means as far as Dak Prescott's extension and stuff like that. Although I did see a few people commenting in chat saying, well, hopefully Dak also maybe takes a more, not so much a team-friendly deal, but, like maybe he cuts the Cowboys a bit of a break. I did say in the chat, I don't really see that happening for this. I just think that extension.
It's the same. I think it's the same situation you're going to see with, when you see, the Cowboys are going to take this deal with. I'm sorry, I'm still kind of coughing a little bit, choking here, but it's you got to look at the overall money, not just the new money. That's the way I think you got to look at it. You got to look at the new money if you just want to see what he's getting kind of in those years, right? But when you take the old money and push it into the mix, you get the true totals. And I think Dak, he may look like he's going to get $55 million. He's maybe going to get $45 million average per year.
Oh, what's up, Dan? Dallas Cowboy 92. Tim, I mean, no, as of right now, no one's replacing Gilmore.
Well, I know that's what he's saying. He said next year who's going to replace him. And it might be Deron Bland. It might be somebody else somewhere else.
I don't think the Cowboys have anything 100% ready to go. We have a few possibilities, a few things kind of percolating possibly behind the scenes, but for right now, I don't think the Cowboys have any kind of exact concrete plan.
You know what's more important than next year? This year.
Yep.
And by the way, let's keep it moving here because CeeDee Lamb, just real quick, the season about to start. Last year, when you look at this year, I mean, his odds this year, the over-under, baby, his receptions, 95.5 is what they're saying is the over-under catches this season. His over-under in yards for the season, 1,100.5 yards. And then his over-under in touchdowns, 7.5. Now, CeeDee Lamb last year had 107 receptions. That would have shattered that. 1,359 yards. also would have shattered that their over-under, and 9 touchdowns, which would have won that bet. Just saying, to me, it's an easy bet this year to keep going at that route. He's going to get at least those numbers, in my humble opinion, when it comes to CeeDee Lamb. So now, just throwing that in there before we get rolling into the actual kind of day of Cowboy football here, first day of training camp, and we got a little CeeDee Lamb appearance there. But we got to get back to Tony Pollard. This morning, before even any practice or anything, before Mike McCarthy did his press conference there, his pre-practice press conference, Tony Pollard was on the radio on 105.3 The Fan, and he was talking with he was on the radio speaking about the Zoom call with all the running backs. He said that he was not on that highly publicized Zoom call with Saquon Barkley and Austin Eckler and others. So, all these running backs airing their concern. He's trying to be like kind of, on the kind of straddling the line, basically.
He's Switzerland right now.
Yeah, neutral. So Pollard also said his plan is for training camp, right? The plan is for him to be eased back into practice at the start of training camp. He said, quote, "I'm feeling pretty good right now, pretty much 100%. At this point, it's just on me and the trainers communicating, being smart, not rushing anything, not getting out there and going full speed too early, just easing back into it." And you'll see, I mean, to me, today, he did ease into it in the sense of like playing a full-time kind of role to get other running backs get opportunities with the team stuff. But, man, he was doing all the drills. He was all the footwork stuff. Tony Pollard's ready to go. I love it. Now, baby, I know that we're going to talk about the day in practice, but we got to go through to me, obviously, this is the big news of the day. And outside of the practice and everything that went down, it's about this guy. One of our three-headed monsters here, one of our hydras in the safeties backfield with Malik Hooker and J-Ron Curtis. Number 6, Donovan Wilson. And, guys, let me show you what happened. All right, I'll show you. I'll just put it right up here. Donovan Wilson, guys, was carted off during the practice and then walked off the cart to the tents, as you can see here. And when he got got looked at, he then put on a walking boot and, in good spirits and all, but it was more of a precautionary walking boot. Let's just put it that way, all right? So they did that. They did an MRI and got it checked out. The results came in. Again, look, he's not being rushed to the hospital. It wasn't, we knew it wasn't going to be like we were hoping. It wasn't a tear or something with his knee.
Look, there's a lot of in between things from, he's fine to, he's in the hospital, right? That could impact either, Wilson or the season or something like that. But thankfully, like you said, not necessarily the case here.
Right, not a tear or anything like that. What did the MRI show? It said that he had a right calf strain. And he left practice, of course, from this, the right calf injury. But it's a strain. It wasn't a tear. And it still sucks, don't get me wrong. They're tricky injuries. They need extra special tender care. Any
kind of soft tissue injury like this is there's only one thing for it: time and rest.
And that's two things. But the thing is that you had actually mentioned the fact that we've been better with the soft tissue injury stuff, but it's going to happen no matter what. We didn't see what happened. No one really is talking about how it happened. But either way, he strained his right calf, and according to the belief on this situation, he will be 100% available for Week 1 against the New York Giants at New York, Sunday Night Football on September 10th, which is the great news portion of this. Now, I will say this. Now, keep this in mind, guys. I know you guys might be like, what are you talking about? As long as he's not, it's not going to be something that lingers, which this kind of injury would linger if you put him in there in 2 or 3 weeks. It then lingers throughout the whole year. But we have the luxury now to let him sit out the whole freaking training camp. You know why? He won't get hurt. Guys, he will be 100% healthy, and he knows the defense, Dan Quinn. There'll be some tweaks. He'll be involved. But, guys, to me, it's not that bad. Now, you know who gets a chance? Israel Mukuamu and Marquise Bell. In fact, let me just keep it at Marquise Bell. Why? Well, Israel Mukuamu wants to make an appearance on the injury list as well. Guys, Israel Mukuamu, unfortunately, finished practice on the sidelines. He was held out of the rest of the reps in the remainder of practice. Israel Mukuamu, who I'm really high on this year, number 24, I think he's going to take a step forward. This is a chance to jump in there, right? Well, not really, because he was on the sideline after a hamstring injury, another soft tissue issue. Hey, that rhymed. So he was walking gingerly on it. They're going to manage it per sources and all that stuff. And then we got the final kind of update on Israel Mukuamu, and that is that, safety, cornerback, slot, nickel, outside, whatever. He plays all over the place. Box safety, free safety. His hamstring tightened. He felt his hamstring tighten. He didn't push it. Smart. And that was, in this first day of training camp in Oxnard, this happened. He pulled himself from practice as a precaution. So it sounds honestly, on the better side of things. And
not just that, but again, this is what I mean by the culture does matter, because McCarthy has created a culture where players feel personally responsible for their health, and they're taking the types of steps and measures to protect themselves. So, which is always a good thing to see. We need these players healthy. Oh.
So, yeah, this MRI that's going to be done to just double check, of course, to make sure nothing else happened. It's not done today. It's done in the morning. So, tomorrow evening or whenever we go live again, we might have to miss some days, but whenever we go live again, we'll definitely have a better, understanding and knowledge about what's going on with Israel Mukuamu and that hamstring, right? Now, a lot of people also said that the MRI might not even happen at all, because they're seeing how it may be unnecessary depending on how his hamstring muscle responds to treatment overnight. So, again, it's a great sign he's not a safety, he's not a corner, he's a defensive back. He plays both spots all over the place, and he played critical downs. Last year, specifically at the nickel cornerback position, even though he's listed as a safety, he played cornerback on the outside mainly in college, but he's been used by Dan Quinn as a kind of a bigger slot corner in the nickel slot spot. I say slot corner, the nickel corner. But anyways, yeah, a very important player. Mukuamu sounds like it all went well. He watched, like you said, listened to McCarthy, didn't push himself, and they're gonna may or may not even have to do the MRI tomorrow. So great news for Mukuamu. I love that part of it. So that's a good part of the rainbow. At the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is that both these guys, one should be back week 1, no problem. The other guy should be back when he's good enough.
Yeah, the next few days.
Yeah, exactly, or a week or so. We'll see.
So, Kenzie, not a big deal, just that, there might be an occasional day here or there that we're not able to do our normal, usual live stream. We'll still be, hopefully, fingers crossed, posting any kind of video or footage or anything.
The videos,
Cowboys, so you can still come here and
the videos will still be
all the
posted.
major updates and all that.
Videos will still be posted, and we will be, trying to this. You'll hear my voice for sure, but honestly, guys, the 9 to 5, we both have family life, and this training camp situation with all these videos and all the news, I'm going to need a break. I need a break, guys. I'm going to need a break. Not that I'm taking a break, but I'm just saying I need like a breather here and there, or something, or a shorter stream, I guess, once in a while. It might be tonight. I don't know. So either way, guys, I am happy. Even though this is bad news, I'm happy that it was not worse news. How's that?
Now, real quick, because Seabass said, but they've said this before about other injuries, like, oh, it's not that bad.
Right.
But then it turns around and ends up being
right. Well, when it comes to Donovan Wilson, we know it's 4 to 6 weeks. 4 to 6 weeks is week 1 of the NFL season, so he might be ready week 5. He's not going to play anymore in training camp. He's not going to play preseason. It's okay. He's a veteran. He knows his stuff. He's not losing ground to anybody. Yeah, it just gives other guys a chance to maybe fine-tune their skills as backups, like Mukuamu. When he gets back, he's the guy you got to watch. Maybe it's more than they're leading on to.
You see, and
Marquise Bell.
Disagree because from everything you just read, it sounds like Mukuamu himself is the one that said, "Hold up, something's not right. I need to sit. I need to wait." Like it's not a Zeke situation where he's like, "Oh, I got a broken leg. Put me in, coach." So. Yeah. It is a slightly different situation, so I'm going to assume that Mukuamu will come back once he is able and physically ready to come back, and we will also be, I think, ready to take him.
Mukuamu, again, we will have places to use him. Well, no, but the point is, take him means when he comes back, he will be taking first. Those top 3 safeties, he'll be one of them, is my point.
Exactly.
So that's important. But in the meantime, Marquise Bell will be taking over those snaps, which opens a door for him to maybe show something, right?
Yep.
Which he's been showing last year as a rookie, undrafted rookie.
And yeah, Madman, DEUCE, again, I know he's tiny. I'm just saying, I know he's tiny and stuff like that, but I think it's very easy to forget just how tiny until you see him out there.
Yeah, he's minuscule. So, anyways, guys, let me keep it rolling here because we have a couple things to still discuss here before we shut it down for the night. And it is not this. We talked about Donovan Wilson. I think, again, the best case, Donovan Wilson, Mukuamu. They're not going to be out into the season. They're not going to be out, weeks into the season. Right now, it looks like both of them are going to be good for week 1. And Mukuamu, of course, he still he might get injured somewhere in preseason or training camp, but it looks like he'll be back sooner than later is the point. And nothing major, nothing serious. Just got to tend to it, rest and relax, especially for Donovan Wilson. And then, in my opinion, at that point, when he's ready, you bring him back, ready to go week 1 against the Giants. I'm cool with that. So, moving on, we have someone called the Big Bubble, Mike McCarthy, and his, he always talks before the practices. 99% of the time, he talks before the practices. So, I know you have some of the information from McCarthy, who, again, these press conferences are held specifically at the River Ridge complex, right? They checked in the River Ridge residents in, and so they're not really Oxnard. Yeah, Oxnard, River Ridge is the area there. River Ridge complex in Oxnard, California is where they're practicing on that facility, in that complex. So, baby, you got the info. Drop it on me. I haven't heard what he said. What did Mike McCarthy say at the beginning of practice, before we had practice, even though I just talked about the injuries? You're not going to hear anything about that because that happened during practice.
Yeah, so you notice amongst all this discussion that we haven't brought up a certain offensive lineman, right? Mike McCarthy was asked, of course, hey, so Zach Martin, what's the situation with him not being at camp? And McCarthy did say, quote, "My father always told me, and I think it's true, you never talk about another man's money. And most importantly, never talk about your own. It's business, and Zach needs to focus on that. We all respect that. We don't feel any differently about him. He's always going to be a leader of our football team. But this is a business situation." So basically, that's McCarthy's very nice and polite way of saying this does not fall under my jurisdiction. So any questions, please direct them to your front office.
Exactly.
So, I thought you were going to add a little more there. So.
I'm not surprised at all, but McCarthy treating this as a business. It should be. It's not. He can't do anything about the money side of things. So McCarthy's right.
Mm-hmm. So now he might be right about something else because he said, quote, "I'll tell you right now, I think this 53-man roster cut is going to be tough. It's going to be really tough because you do have some different roles for young players and how we're able to put that together." So
interesting.
Which again, guys, I know we'll have to
young players
give
like
a general prediction of what we think the 53-man roster is, hopefully in the next few days or weeks. So we'll throw that out there. McCarthy also said, quote, "The biggest thing I want done is I want to get this training camp environment set. That's really a reflection of the confidence I have in how we came out of the spring. I didn't really feel like we needed a whole lot of, let's get ready to go. They're ready to go. I went to dinner with the Leadership Council Monday night, and this bunch is ready to get going. They know what we want to get done, and it's clear."
You love to see everybody on the same page, from the leaders of the team, on the player wise, and the coaches all on the same page. Love it.
So, McCarthy also, this is my least favorite comment here, unfortunately. As far as the kicking situation, everyone seems much more comfortable because he said, quote, "It really kind of feels similar to last year. We want to give both of these guys an opportunity to win the job. We want to make sure we give these guys a chance to compete." I mean, I think it means like Brandon Aubrey and Tristan Vizcaino. But he's saying, and again, he's saying this only because that's what the coaches are saying. I mean, not the coaches, but the front office is saying we're not getting any other kickers in here. But Brandon Aubrey, the guy you're seeing on your screen here, the last couple of the other kicks and these kicks, that's him. And Tristan Vizcaino, last year was the same thing. We had, what was it, Garibay versus what's his name, Niswander, and then they battled it out, and then they brought in Maher at the end to win the job. So I think that's what he means more than they suck. You know what I mean? I think it's like last year, not that they both sucked last, it's more like last year in that it's just these two guys battling it for now. So Mike McCarthy also had to share some love for our man Tony Pollard, saying it's been really cool to see Tony step up and lead that running back group, saying that Pollard has been much more vocal as a leader in the running back room. So, he's kind of helped fill that role that Zeke obviously left empty. So, good to know.
Yeah.
McCarthy also added in their quote.
He's picking up that spot, that leadership running back spot, that Zeke had. So, yeah, I love it.
So McCarthy said, quote, "A big part of having elite playmakers If you line up an elite playmaker in the same spot all the time, it's easier for the opposition to take them away. Which again, I know that comment was made more in a general sense, but I couldn't help but think of Micah.
I was just gonna say that. You can say Micah, you can say CD, you can say Brandon Cooks.
I know, but the word elite, right now, to me, the word elite is synonymous with Micah. Right at this moment, or I guess Zach Martin too. Just throwing that out there, right?
But he's older elite, like Micah's new elite.
So, and even I'll admit, Micah's a little bit flashier just because of the position that he plays.
Of course.
But Mike McCarthy also said that he's really excited for Trayvon and the fact that he got his new deal. That he's also excited, what this kind of possible future success could mean for the franchise. He said when you're able to get your guys, when you're able to get your guys done, it's all ahead of us.
Again, he don't really care what it takes. He just wants all these guys here because his ass is on the hot seat when it comes to Mike McCarthy. So bring in my power guys, and that's why he's not happy. I'm sure he's not happy personally that Zach Martin's missing any days of practice. So McCarthy's happy Trayvon is there.
So, but yeah, that was pretty much it from the big kahuna.
All right, well, then we got to practice after that, right? I mean, that's the next step on this thing, and then we saw what happened in practice, guys. And again, take a look at it with me here as you see the players. This is like an overview of the field. You may have to kind of jump in and kind of, I guess you could say make some comments if I'm not making comments. But defense came out on that field, guys, and there's Micah waving a big stick. Yeah, he speaking softly but carrying a big stick. I don't know what the purpose of that was. I'm not really sure. I don't think Micah didn't speak today, but I'm sure we'll hear about this in the next couple of days when he eventually does speak. But Micah came out there waving the stick. He's ready to roll. Listen, this practice, I'm going to just have some notes, all right? And I'm curious if you guys think here. And I'll get into it after you see these guys walking out. But I will say this. There's no Mozzie Smith in this video, but there will be a video of Mozzie Smith coming soon, guys. He's huge. All right? He's a huge man. That's a good thing. We need that for a nose tackle. You're going to see, of course, DEUCE Vaughn, rookie, and Overshown, DeMarvin and Overshown, both rookies. You're going to see both these guys looking explosive in this video. Here you're seeing DeMarcus Lawrence, old man D-Law, over there, signing autographs and running on the field. And then, just kind of giving you the lay of the land here when it comes to the rookie side of things. But DEUCE Vaughn is electric. That's pretty much across the board, and you'll see that here. Here you're seeing Dak Prescott on that field. Dak Prescott looked sharp. Now, he had a potato ball, as you say it, right? The potato throw that he throws, a kind of overhand hook, and it just floated a little bit on a 2-minute drill.
Look, they're definitely not pretty, but it still got the job done.
Dak's having fun out there. I think it's Awesome Richards, big man out there. So the point here is that, you got Chuma Edoga. I don't know if that's him, but Chuma Edoga replaced Tyron Smith at left tackle when he was subbed out and played next to Tyler Smith. Important to note, right? If Terrence Steele's not there, Tyron Smith goes to the right side or Tyron Smith gets hurt. Mm-hmm. Chuma Edoga, day one snaps there at the left tackle spot in replacement of Tyron Smith, and they kept Tyler Smith at guard. Tyron Smith off the field taking a break. He could be in real life. He could be injured, right? He could be playing right tackle. Something happened to Terrence Steele, so we're seeing that. Now here you're seeing, of course, they've been walking out there for a little bit, but Tony Pollard, TP, baby, Tony Pollard Hollard, and number 13, MG13, Michael Gallup. Both guys, Michael Gallup last year from the injury, now this year, Pollard with the injury coming off of that. We'll talk about them in a minute as well. Here's the whole group of the whole team, mainly defense, it looks like on this side. They're playing California Love because they're in Cali now, right? So they were blasting the great Tupac. Now, back to Tony Pollard. You see him here, guys, on the sideline, working the resistance cords. Obviously he's still not 100%. They don't want him full blast. So he even said it this morning. He's going to take it easy, but
which is good.
I'm going to tell you this. Him and Terrence Steele on the sidelines doing their thing, not going full blast and stuff, but they were moving fantastic today. So that's a great sign there for our team. Dak here with the other quarterbacks taking snaps from first string, second string, and third string centers, kind of audibling and kind of doing this stuff here, kind of sticking with the game plan, sticking with the play. I guess kind of if you see things, they're training Dak to see certain things. All the quarterbacks. There's Dak kind of practicing a little bit of pitch and catch, I think, and Cooper Rush here next, who I think throws a poor pass. But the thing I think here is important is that you're going to see these plays a lot this year. Those kind of in the middle of the field, short dump downs, you're going to see that. You're going to see Dak rolling out, throwing across his body and hitting the bullseye. Wow. Great job by Dak on that play. I mean, I'm sure he missed a whole bunch of them earlier.
I will say
but
Dak
still
just every year does
crisp.
Look better and better.
And I'm just saying, like, he's moving play action. We see a lot of play action, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love play action. I want to see play action under center. No more of that dumb shit RPO crap. So I love Dak, the way he's looking out there, the way that McCarthy's kind of practicing with him, using him. Now, here's Tony Pollard. Did that look like someone who's broke an ankle or broke a fibula? No.
No, that looks like a perfectly healthy man to me.
Now, this guy here next is Malik Davis. He's bouncing, but he looks pretty quick, pretty fast in and out of there. And then Ronald Jones. He's a little chunky there with his steps. Almost fell, knocked it around a little bit. But again, that's our power guy, right? He's not going to be making all the moves. Now, this is our little guy. 5'5", Deuce Vaughn. Look at that. Woof, 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 woof. That's called electricity right there. Oh, he clipped that. He got mad about that too.
So freaking fast.
So fast, electrically fast there. And then Tyler Lipke, fullback. I mean, we'll see what he can do. Is he going to have a purpose on this team? That's up to Mike McCarthy if he wants to utilize his fullback a little more often. And then here, last but not least, Rico Dowdle, who's been banged up the last 2 years with the hip. He's out there doing his thing here as well. Now, you're going to see them kind of taking the front runs forward. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this when it comes to the way they're moving the field. Especially, of course, like Tony Pollard and Deuce Vaughn. I guess those are the two big ones to discuss. You'll see it here again. They're going to run just straightforward drill here. Yeah, and that's Pollard just flying through there.
TP seemingly didn't lose a step. I mean, yeah, if you told me that he had never gotten hurt and he just ended the season like normal and started training camp like everybody else, I would have believed you.
Malik Davis
looks like any other player.
Malik Davis looked fast as well. And there's Rojo. Here's little man Deuce. Look at him. It's like he's not even, his legs are so close to the ground. It's like he just has to hop. I don't know. It's weird. So
scurry.
I know. So I listen. Pollard looked great out there. Off the injury. You guys saying it. Seabass was a Seabass. Said it in the chat. Agreed there. And then you got here you got another Deuce Vaughn, little in and out move there, little sideline run. He's going to use catching the ball out there and then going up the field. I'm just saying he does look tiny though. Let's be real. Let's be honest. He is tiny, but they may work in a favor for him if we use him right on this team. I'm excited to see what we're going to do there. So again, Pollard and Steele looking great out there off the injuries. Here's Micah Parsons hitting that side. Not much of Micah today. And here's one of the safeties that didn't get hurt, J-Ron Curse. He's a family member, by the way, here in MCF and follows us on Twitter. Much love to J-Ron. I'm looking forward to what he's going to do. Here's rookie DeMarvion Overshown. Ooh, I like that explosion. I told you guys he looked explosive. Number 35. He looks a little smaller than the other linebackers. He's got some power to him. And here's our defense, but the main guy is number 21, Stephon Gilmore, who you'll see here in some team battles shortly with Brandon Cooks. So, I love that. The Cowboys starting wide receiver core is 100 times better than they were last time at this point of the year. Speaking of, there's C.D. Lamb. Much love to Marvin Mitchell.
Thank you for summing it up. Appreciate you.
Yes, welcome to the family. So, appreciate you. Keep growing this thing, guys, here. Every day and night on this channel. We're at 23,000 plus. Now, here's our receivers. There's number 3, Brandon Cooks. There's number 13, Michael Gallup. And there's number 88, C.D. Lamb. What a catch here with that ball, right? Pop! Right in his face. Good adjustment from C.D. Lamb. The point is, C.D. Lamb is making some really great catches, not just in these practices, but he's also doing it on the field. You'll see that later in a minute. And again, he's also, C.D. Lamb to me, and all the receivers, Brandon Cooks looking so smooth, so swift out there. I'm just ecstatic the way Brandon Cooks looks. You'll see him on the field quick, great hands. Brandon Cooks is a steal for us, I think, and is going to help this offense. Now, look, Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore, both of them, Stephon Gilmore, according to all reports, looked, like we had a lockdown cornerback. There was no place for Dak really to do much. And the defense dominated out there. But I'm just saying, both these guys here come into this team, bringing their veteran leadership, being able to help out the rest of the running back room, the receiver room for Cooks and the cornerback room for Gilmore. That's fantastic to see, and that's another stage of this stuff here that you're seeing from these veteran guys we brought in. Now here's Dak throwing it down to Tony Pollard. Got a lot of work today, and then here's Dak going out to Ferguson. They got to worry about the tight end position. There's Ferguson making the catch and going up the field. Another play to Ferguson here, working the middle of the field. Again, I think you're going to see a lot of that. You saw a lot of that dump down stuff to the running backs. Now here's CD. Just beautiful, guys. CD Lamb doing his thing as always. Now another interesting. I like this route. if CD runs it right, and Dak throws it right, we got ourselves a great connection here. So, again, continuing this great connection. Now, this is a bad pass by Dak, but CD Lamb makes the one-handed catch. What a play. That's what a receiver...
I was going to say, that's what a number one receiver does.
That's what an elite receiver in the NFL does when the quarterback has a bad pass, and yes, everybody he had a bad pass. Everyone, celebrates that. Why would you celebrate that? He had a bad pass. There's a lot of bad passes in training camp by every quarterback, but the key here is the adjustment by your number one receiver was vital, and CeeDee Lamb came up with that. When Dak does throw a bad pass, CeeDee will make this kind of catch, and he can trust him to make sure he grabs that. So that's good to see that connection. Dak, sharp enough, all right, in these practices overall. We talked about that. And here's Brandon Cooks. I don't know. I think that there's something about him. He looks like the fantastic version of Tavon Austin. Let's put it that way. I don't know, it just reminds me of him. Now here's Cooks and making the move on Gilmore. What a play there by Gilmore. And by the way, on defense dominated. Mozzie Smith is huge and explosive, by the way. We'll see a little bit of his drills later, tomorrow probably, on MyCowboysFamily and the clips that we have. But look at this is a second defensive play here between these two on the 2-minute drill. And that was all gobbled up by Stephon Gilmore. They wanted an interference penalty, but I think he just read that beautifully. That's Stephon Gilmore doing his thing there. So that's what he's bringing to the table. Now, here's Dak trying to go to Simi Fehoko. Oh, no. Eric Scott Jr. with the pick. Now, is that Dak's fault? Hell no.
You could have told me this was from last year. I would have believed you.
I'm telling you guys, there's Fehoko making a catch, making up. But come on. This is what I'm talking about. When I talk to you guys about issues with, when we have issues with, guys tipping the ball, dropping the ball, this is what I'm telling you. That's not a Dak interception. This was the issue last year for about 6 of his 15 interceptions, guys. And, we got to make sure that we keep that in mind. When you see a receiver hit, the ball hits him in the hands and he pops it up in the air, Simi Fehoko, you're going to lose your job. So, just saying, again, just throwing it out there. That's the video version. I'll let it run again as I kind of finish up my final points. So, just looking at this, guys, again, I got to reiterate, there's no Mozzie sighting here, but when you see him, you'll understand he's huge, he's explosive. It's going to be great to see him there. That last little kind of clips you saw there at the end, you saw TJ Bass, number 66, playing some snaps in there, getting some work at the right guard spot for Zach Martin. TJ Bass is, of course, an undrafted, so keep an eye on him. Again, back to the tight ends. I know Hendershot got some play there on that final 2-minute drill, but so did Ferguson. And Ferguson right now is the number one tight end on this team, guys. The easy, clear number one guy. No Luke Schoonmaker. He's a NFI guy. He's a non-football injury list. So he's losing track on trying to get that starting spot. And that hurts the team in general, right? But right now, Ferguson looks like the solid number one guy for us. So, again, I just think that the defense looks great with Diggs on one side, Gilmore on the other side. That interception, by the way, that Dak threw, that everyone's not one, actually, I don't think not one person said that it's Dak's fault. Finally, for once, people accept that, okay, that wasn't on Dak. The two things you want to note about that play, though, is not about Dak. Dak's interception is not the important thing. Simi needs to catch that ball. Simi Fehoko has to catch it. That's one of the big things to take out of that play. The other big thing, and I got to give credit here to Eric Scott Jr. right there, because Dak threw that. Yeah, Dak's right there. Dak threw that interception, but it's not on Dak, so I'm taking him off of that. But Eric Scott, yeah, he made a great. You know why it's a great play? It's not that he picked Dak. The key to you see this stuff, guys, see people go out there and say, oh, the Dak threw a pick, and they sound stupid. The truth is, you look at the context, you see what happened, and you take away from this? Simi Fehoko has to catch the pass, and Eric Scott Jr. has some of the surest hands on the defensive backfield right now for us, guys. And again, I think that, that's his quick kind of, Eric Scott's quick, I guess, hand-eye control, reaction time is what you take away from that. He's done a lot of stuff in the OTAs and in the mini camps, just in the sense of he's not been falling behind. A 6th-rounder here. We were all not happy about this pick, but it sounds like maybe Dan Quinn's guy has at least some room to make a move here, right? Because he's been consistent, OTAs, mini camp, and again, it's just day one. Long way to go. But Eric, you got to give it up to Eric Scott Jr., just kind of making his mark here already, right? Just kind of sticking out. But Simi Fehoko also, if you guys know this, when it comes to minicamp, Simi also had 0 drops in minicamp. So this should not be a consistent thing for Simi Fehoko, but he's on the bubble. He better make these freaking catches. Now, Jalen Tolbert, where's he at? Listen, he was active on that 7-on-7, those 7-on-7 drills, that 2-minute drill, all that stuff there, but, you know, he was not really, he didn't stand out today. I mean, I guess Fehoko stood out, but in the wrong way. And, of course, as I discussed earlier, Donovan Wilson, Israel Mukuamu both left with injuries. We talked about both of those injuries. Unfortunately, they happened, but fortunately, they should not be missing any regular season time for that in the season. By the way, Ferguson, I wanted to say, even though he's also kind of established himself as number one, he's also put on some good weight. So he's this offseason training program really helped him bulk up. So
Tommy said he might be another Bland.
I don't want to jump to that because that's hard to do, but under Dan Quinn, with the scouts we got with McClain, under Dan Quinn, anything can happen.
Things are possible, but I do think that he can hang with Bland, certainly.
I mean, I think that rookie year, if he just is our fifth guy behind Jordan Lewis, that's a big win right there. He beat out Nashawn Wright. He beat out, Kelvin Joseph. That's a big win right there. So, okay, I don't know if you had any.
I just wanted to do a quick shout out. And Retro Scotty, yes. If most of you guys did see the interception video, pretty clear that Fehoko was the more responsible party.
No, he was the only responsible party. Dak, the play call, the block, everybody did their job except for one guy, Fehoko. Put it on him, and he'll take that and learn from that, hopefully, or he won't learn and he'll get cut.
Mm-hmm. So, and guys, since we are getting towards the end of the stream here, take a second, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at MyCowboysFamily, and hop in the Discord. Link for that's in the description box down below.
Yeah, so as we get to the end here, guys, and appreciate everybody. No drops today, but it's all good. It happens, I guess. We do, when you look at this first day of training camp, the physicality and the pace of practice. I mean, it was great on both sides of the ball. Defense obviously controlled things, but the team. And remember we talked about Dak Prescott saying that we want to go there, hit the ground running. We want to be on the same page. It looked like everybody on offense and defense was on the same page. It was a different. Listen, guys, I know some of you guys been there. I heard some people come back and tell me this had again. We heard this in the past, but like the whole camp day one never was this different day one. Like it wasn't just the feeling by the fans. It was the performance and the way things were run by Mike McCarthy. And under his tutelage, it's not the Jerry Jones show anymore. It is the Mike McCarthy show, at least for this year. And I'm hoping that he will get the most out of this team. So it's great to see the attitude, the culture has changed for the positive here as we're entering the fourth year of Mike McCarthy. So physicality, the pace of practice, this team is ready for football. Terrence Steele was moving around, no problem, guys, bouncing back very nicely from his, in his first full practice here. And of course, like I said, Pollard had a great practice, again, a big practice for him, but he was a little more limited than even Terrence Steele, which is surprising. And at the end of practice, guys, it's not here in the video. I might post it up there, tomorrow or something. But Trayvon Diggs was, now he's over $100 million man here, still carrying the teammates' equipment and their helmets to help out the equipment managers. That's a humble, great guy there. And Trayvon Diggs, and it's number 7 and number 21. That's our cornerback duo right there. Maybe one of the best in the NFL. I love it. And they're going to practice against guys like CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, and Cooks all year long. I'm good with that all night long. So, I mean, that's it from me. I know that you have a couple things to still talk about, but anything quick in the chat there from the family? Any quick comments before we...
hold on, Rodriguez. Yes, Schoonmaker is not practicing right now.
NFI list, which is non-football injury list, which means it's kind of like the PUP list, the PUP list. He's not out there. So we got McEwen as our third guy right now.
So
and
let me see here.
And Ian Bunting.
Retro, we went over Wilson's little kerfuffle there.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed he is ready to go by week 1.
Yeah, 4 to 6 weeks.
4
to 6 weeks. Right calf strain. And again, sometimes you push a guy back in 3 weeks, and that lingers the whole year. The good thing about Donovan Wilson, they're going to rest him the whole training camp. He's not coming back. That's good. And he'll be 100% ready to go for week 1, in my opinion. Mukuamu also the hamstring. They'll check the MRI maybe tomorrow. It sounds like it was a precautionary thing. So, knock on wood, 1 day down, 11 more days to go of training camp in Oxnard. And the hope is that minimal injuries, no injuries, you know? Keep it that way.
So, let me see here. Let me go ahead and keep rolling, guys, with the rest of the comments.
Not the rest. This is the end. Yeah, they were walking off the field and caught these guys getting interviewed right at the end. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I didn't... Okay.
I know.
But yes, guys. So, first of all, Trayvon Diggs did speak, obviously. He spoke on, of course, his newly signed contract here. So, first of all, shout out to him and his family, because he said, I was extremely proud. I was crying on my way to Oxnard on the plane. Spoke about how proud he is to be able to provide for his son, obviously himself, his family, and also he specifically mentioned his mom as well. So, very well earned, Trayvon Diggs. He also went on to say, I'm just very appreciative of the opportunity. Just this organization trusting in my abilities, trusting what I do on the field, and I'm doing everything I can to help this franchise win a Super Bowl. I'm truly grateful. It means a lot, being able to get it done before camp, and now I can just focus on football. So, by the way, in case you are wondering, what was I about to say? In case you're wondering, Trayvon also mentioned specifically, because they're asking him, well, when did the deal kind of get done exactly? He said Monday-ish.
Wow.
Basically, when he went on the plane with the rest of the team, by then he knew that it was going to get done. So, just to give you kind of a timeline there. But before that, he wasn't 100% sure. By the time he got on the plane, he kind of knew that that's what's going to happen. Yeah. And by the time he landed, it sounds like
it was delivered, because the next day, after their state of the team, is when it was announced.
Yes. He said it's a lot of weight off of your shoulders. Regardless of if it was done in camp or not in camp, I was still going to go about my work the same way. So, and he was asked, do you feel like you have reached your ceiling? Right? He said, hell no. I'm just starting. Literally. I feel like money isn't everything, because at the end of the day, you still have to go out there and perform. They give contracts to guys all the time, and some guys don't perform after. My main goal is to stay consistent, stay building on my career, to build a great resume so that I'll go down as one of the best defensive backs to play the game.
I love that he wants to get that.
I just want to be flawless all the way around. I want to have no flaws in my game. I want to be perfect.
And now with, Stephon Gilmore on the other side, he has that chance to be I think this will be the best chance he has to be the best in his career, in this year.
So, and actually, this is something that I didn't know. I knew that Trayvon and Stephon were friendly before Gilmore joined the team, but I didn't realize that they were this close. Trayvon Diggs said this as far as being teammates officially now with Stephon Gilmore. Quote, I feel like he's just very professional. Just how he goes about his work, it's like rubbed off on me. He's waking up at 6 every day, so now I want to wake up at 6 every day and go get a workout with him and do all the little stuff like that. He eats perfect. He doesn't eat foolishness. He's seen me eating gummy snacks and he'd be like, why are you eating that? Little things like that. Him just taking me under his wing and just showing me how to last in the league that long. I'm just taking notes and soaking everything up. And I'm very appreciative for it.
Good to know. I mean, I did not know that, he had that kind of impact and had that kind of background.
Yeah. So, with the addition of Gilmore...
Sorry, I want to interrupt you one thing. I do see someone saying here that Turpin was not at practice. And that is true. And I forgot to mention it. I thank you for reminding me that, Mr. Kima. But Turpin was there celebrating the birth of his child. So that's why he missed practice today.
Turpin, yeah. So I saw quite a few people mentioning rumors that Turpin was going to get cut or whatever, or that he wasn't going to make the 53. Again, no one knows anything yet, but it's day one of training camp, guys. So no, none of those rumors are true as of yet.
It was the birth of his daughter. That's why it was his child. I don't know if it was a boy or girl, but it was the birth of his child is why he wasn't there. So breathe out, guys. It's fine. He'll be back tomorrow. The next, or I guess they skipped Friday, so he'll be back tomorrow or Saturday. Turpin will be in the house. Don't worry. You get your Turpin, dosage here of video clips in no time.
So, and as far as how much the team has improved now with the addition of Gilmore, Trayvon Diggs said, quote, I definitely feel like the defense got better. I'm excited. I can't wait for the season to start. and I'm excited to see how teams attack us.
They're going to be tough, and you got to go outside to Stephon Gilmore, or the other outside, and you got Trayvon Diggs. Inside, you got Bland and Jordan Lewis and Mukwamu and Donovan Wilson, and when he's not injured, and Curse. And I'm just saying, you're going to have problems. You're going to have a lot of problems, guys.
And last but not least, guys, because we are wrapping things up here, we do have Stephon Gilmore. Who also spoke.
Right? Both our corners spoke today. I think Tony Pollard, too.
Yeah, we have a few little blurbs here from Pollard, but Gilmore and Trayvon were the two who spoke the most.
The main guys, and that's our cornerbacks. That's the cornerstone of our cornerback room.
Specifically in regards to Gilmore, a bit of a soft spot for him just because he is like a true blue Cowboy fan. Being traded to the Cowboys, he said that it's kind of like something he's dreamed of his entire life. He said that it feels like he's just now living his football dreams.
He's with the Cowboys.
Now that he's officially with the Cowboys. Yeah, he said it's a lot of great players that have come through this great organization. A lot of players I've looked up to. Who wouldn't want to play for the Cowboys? It's a great organization. The history speaks for itself. It's an honor to put on the star and play the game at a high level. See, somebody gets it. Somebody gets it.
Hey, I mean,
so
he understands what it is to be a Cowboy fan.
So, as far as the potential for the secondary, right, Gilmore said, quote, "It's going to be fun. They've got to throw it somewhere. One of us is going to get tested. We just have to be ready for wherever they throw it. I'm looking forward to it. We have to be ready for each and every snap because at the end of the day, they're going to throw the ball and somebody's got to make the play."
And I'm telling you, it's going to be Diggs or Stephon Gilmore if they hit the outside.
Yeah, so, and by the way, there was a bit of a battle today, too, between Gilmore and Cooks. Each one, it was a bit of a draw, right? Gilmore 1-1, Cooks 1-1, but Gilmore said it was fun. Anytime you can have good competition across the ball from you, it brings out the best, and we're going to have a lot of battles throughout camp.
Yeah, he's attacking each other. We saw a battle today between both these guys. Expect to see more battles throughout training camp and in all the practices, which makes both of them better. That's what I love.
Gilmore also said this as far as Diggs' new contract. He said, "They pay you because you've been playing good football. So just keep doing what you're doing. Make plays on the ball and try to get better each and every year." He is super talented. He has great ball skills. Some of the stuff he does, you can't teach. He's got a natural instinct for catching the ball, and he can cover really pretty much anybody.
Gotta love to hear that.
That's an accurate description of Diggs.
High elite cornerback. Talk about another high elite cornerback, right? Stephon Gilmore, Trayvon Diggs on the same team.
Hey, real recognized real.
Top 10 corners, by the way, in pretty much every single breakdown, analytical breakdown. I mean, maybe Trayvon Diggs a little bit like an 11 or 12th on some lists. These guys are basically top 10 corners on the same team on the outside. I love it.
And now, last but not least, Tony Pollard. He didn't say much, but what he did say was important as far as how much of a workload he could handle. He said, quote, "Whatever they throw at me, I can handle. I'm ready to go. Whatever they throw at me, I'm going to make the most of it, and we'll see how that goes. But if they call it, I'm going to haul it."
He said that last year, you know. He said, haul it.
Yeah,
you call it out, haul it. And, hey, it's a moving company. That's what they're a moving company. That's what they're making a joke last year. So, Pollard's ready. And I think they gave him a 75% workout today, even though it's supposed to be a little more limited. I like that he's putting in the full work here. A lot of the hard work, full work, and getting there sooner than I think any of us thought him. Terrence Steele, great news.
So, Tony Pollard also commented on playing on the franchise tag this year. He said, quote, "At this point, it is what it is. I signed the tag. I'm here in camp. I'm just ready to focus on the main thing and just stick to winning." So, and he was asked, is making $10 million okay with you? He's like, "Yeah, that's fine with me." I'm sure it is.
I love to hear that. As a running back, it's probably very fine, but if he's used like Deebo Samuel, he's worth a lot more. I'm just going to let you know on that. So, guys, that is a wrap here on MCF. It's a long day for... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know you had more.
It's all right. This is technically not a quote, but just a little heads up. Pollard did say that Zeke did text him today before practice, just, giving him some words of encouragement, wishing love to, the Cowboys running back group. But that to me, I thought that was really sweet.
Very nice
really
of
nice.
Zeke. Yeah, and you know what's great about
Basically
that?
told Pollard to hold it down.
I heard Zeke said, "Hey, can you guys please sign me?" No, he didn't say that, guys. I'm joking. Zeke, hoping the best for him, but you know, right now nobody's taking him for the price he's asking for. Pollard, he's here, 10 million, 10.1, and he's ready to play football. He's not saying he's not Barkley. He's not trying to say he's Saquon Barkley or any other guy, Dalvin Cook. He's playing for, you know, for again right now the market going down, baby, when it comes to the running backs. So, on that note, baby, let's do those shout outs again. Much love to everybody in the house who did hit the like button, who hit that subscribe button, who hit the notification bell, so we know we're going live. You know, 24/7, 365 here in the next 28 days or so. Much love to the great Dwayne Broussard, the top dog, who dropped the thanks earlier today. And Marco Seppian, you see him there. He's in second place on the board, but he's got 25 points on the Stream Boss. The sponsor of the week's got control of everything pretty much. He's the sponsor week back-to-back. Skeptical fan, and also in the lead right now. Well, the membership gifting lead, the overall lead. He's going for a three-peat. Extra special love to the man, the Q-Man. Right? Justin Quarles. He is, as we all know, the king of the Cash App. Q-Man. Appreciate him. And the leader in the Cash App, I think a 3 in there right now. A Brandon Cooks 3 total. Jason Renfro. Much love once again to everybody in the house. You know, yesterday we had a new person drop and jump to third place there, Jangly Echoes. I think I forgot to shout them out earlier last night, but I want to make sure I shout them out. Mark in second there. Bobby Bottles in the silver level crew. Appreciate all of you guys. Of course, Skeptical Fan in the top spot right now for maybe a third straight week. We'll see what happens as we're entering, the beginnings, the true beginnings, the foundations, you could say, of the 2023, formulation portion of the season. Guys, can't do this without you guys. Appreciate everybody hitting that like, subscribing, and all that good stuff. But baby, let me know why our cartoon faces do this here each and every night, or almost each and every night here on My Cowboys Family. What is it about?
It's that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything.
Hell yeah. Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly, right here on MCF. We always rep that star over every single thing, guys. And of course, on My Cowboys Family, never forget the number one thing here, now, and forever, 6 years and beyond on this YouTube channel. Hopefully we get that 6 and beyond as a Cowboy team, right? Guys, never forget the number one thing here, now, and forever. As always, go Cowboys. Let's get that 6 and beyond. Thank you all for dropping your knowledge in the chat all night long. Truly appreciate Dwayne Broussard's thanks earlier this afternoon. And everyone who's dropped the love here, they begin, yesterday, kicking off a new week, or 2 days ago, I guess, kicking off a new week. Thank you all for chilling here with us, giving your thoughts. Make sure you check out our videos and share them out and comment and, hit the like, of course. And, of course, before we can drop out of here, relock, reload for day 2 tomorrow of training camp for our Dallas Cowboys. Baby, what do we got to do officially before we drop out for the night?
We got to drop the beat.
Oh, yeah. Beat's been dropped. It's a wrap here on My Cowboys Family. And appreciate every single one of you guys here kicking off the season with us here, right? Buckle up. It's going to be fun. Guys, thank you once again. Appreciate everybody. Even Frank Moyer. He knows 5 is always greater. He knows, right, Frank? 5 is always greater than 1. Do I have to announce it today? Well, for the rest of your Eagle fans, let me just make sure they know. 5 is always greater than 1. Cry, Eagles, cry. Okay, sorry, guys. Back to business here, guys. Appreciate everybody. Thank you all for repping that navy blue, silver, and star. And, completing another Cowboys chat here. It's year 7, but day 1 of 2023's Dallas Cowboys training camp. Yeah. Dak, DEUCE, TP, Cooks, all the offensive weapons there. And then you had, we saw the greatness of Gilmore, and we saw, we got to protect some of our guys from injury like Wilson, Israel Mukuamu, and just, keep it on the, knock on wood, non-injured list for all these guys as long as possible so we can win that 6 and beyond, right? Yeah, guys, navy blue, silver 2, star over everything. That's what it's about here at MCF. Never forget the number one thing here on My Cowboys Family. Much love to everyone. We'll see you back tomorrow throughout the day with videos dropping left and right, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully the live stream as well for the wrap up of the night. Thank you all once again. Have a great night. Stay safe. Peace. Oh yeah, and never ever forget, Go Cowboys!
on the beat.